What's up, Internet Land? Zachamus Prime, aka Zachamus Prime, here with another Transformers third-party review, and we are just going to start from the bottom and work our way up. So, here we go. So, this is the Toyworld Mixmaster, and to get him transformed up, all you need to do is... let's open this up for just a minute. Split these legs. Now we want to open up these panels here. And pull out the leg, because we're going to take this panel here and flip this around. It kind of comes out and slides, and then it gets into the position and then slides closed. And then we're going to take this and leave this there like that. This tab here, this peg is going to fit into that hole like so. And then we're just going to put this back together real quick. And do the same with the other side. Do the same with the other side. Do the same with the other side. So pull this out. Flip it around. Push it back in. Plug that in. Close this back up. And then these legs are going to get tabbed back together. And then these are going to plug back into there. And that's one right there. That's one. Now, for scrapper, the way we want to do this is we're going to take this and kind of fold that up a little bit. This whole shovel part's going to come up and then fold in like so. You're going to take these and untab them, where we so diligently tab them into like 50 different things. And now this big chunky tab here is going to clip right into this slot, this little C-clip in there. It's not a C-clip, but it's a clip. And then we can take this and fold this down and down. That'll kind of streamline that area. And then do the same for the other side. Do the same for the other side. Out and out. Tab that in. Tab this in. And then you have another chunk. Alright, for this one, what we're going to do is a little bit more involved than the last one, but only a little bit. So we want to take and disconnect these legs and bring them out. You want to take and disconnect these guys here. And then you're going to raise these up. Actually, that's just about all that needs to be done for now, isn't it? Probably the most simplistic of them all. We do want to take and bring these out. That'll help us when we get to final assembly. And that's just where we're going to leave this for now. Now, for hook, what we're going to do is whole thing is going to need to, and this actually has a fair amount of work. So you want to take and lift up this panel here and this panel here, and then you're going to open this panel here, and then that's going to fold in. And same with this, you're going to lift that up. And then that's going to fold in. You'll see how that panel kind of folds in to be a little bit flush. And then you're going to kind of wiggle, jiggle, jiggle, wiggle this out. Now, one of the things you want to do is open up this guy here. How exactly does that? There we go. Because this is going to come around, and you want to bring up these tabs here. Ah, this butcher's so useful. Before we get to this point, some things that we need to do. We do need to disconnect these. And then bring this out specifically so that we can pop out this tab here. And then close this all back up. Whoops, while I have that out, I should have pulled out this tab right here. There we go. There we go. Now close this all back up. And then on this side, we're going to need to lift up these tabs because we need to open up the legs. But only a little bit. Fold out this tab here. Fold out this tab here. And then quietly put everything back together and hope that it didn't notice that we brutally ripped it all apart. Fold these back in. Bring this around. And you got these two pegs here, two holes here. Boom. And then you want to fold these down and then take this and that gets left back here like that. Yeah, it does. Ah, shit. This is all starting to come together. I love it. All right. That, I believe, is good. Now we're going to start bringing in our actual combiner parts because this one actually doesn't do anything. All it does is combine with its combiner part. Which is this arm right here. So there's this arm, right? So basically how we're going to do this is... Oh yeah, I forgot to mention, one of the things you can do with this is you can plug this guy up in there. But I didn't even get to that, so... Alright, so disconnect this carefully from there, disconnect this carefully from there. Bring these out. You want to take this arm joint and fold it out. So one negative thing I can say about this is that these joints are so effing tight, this joint right here specifically, that if you try to pose this with it on the figure, you're just going to end up shredding everything. Like, you will completely make this whole thing just come apart. And it will not meet your needs over time. So when you're posing the arm, it actually works out best that you take the arm off, brute force it into the pose you like, and then put it back on the body. It's complicated, it's a little clumsy. The later Zeta figures don't do that. I think they fine-tune. Of course, this was Zeta's first combiner. Sorry, Zeta. The later Toyworld, which is also Zeta, combiners don't do that like their Superion and whatnot. So I think they just needed some time to configure that. But I'm going to have this... I want this to be slightly out. So I'm going to take this and pop this up by one notch. I feel like that's supposed to stay in place better, and it's not, and I'm not sure why. Oh, yeah, I know why. Oh, shit. I just lost part of my chain, but I didn't break anything. Always good. Just take this and connect this back together. All right, let's flex this to get these out. I just noticed / remembered that there are some hinges right here, the little tabs right here. So now when this comes down, the holes, come on, focus, 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 focus on my hand. The holes in here will plug into this tab right here. And that'll help to keep that together. goes back into place. Why do I feel like something's put wrong in? I don't think anything is. All right. So that's that. And then last but not least, open that up, curl that fist in. I gotta be honest, I kind of liked the Toyworld, no, the TFC Devastator, how this part came around and then hooked over the back, and it made it more streamlined. I mean, I can't say that I hate the look of the shovel just hanging out. It's just, it's not my favorite look. Alright. This is the one that suffers the most from because I'm pretty certain there's not a way to increase that stability. Unless I'm very wrong, which I could be. But like, this is connected to this block, which is connected to this joint, which is connected to that joint, which is connected to that joint. And so if you try to like move anything on this arm as the arm, it just makes everything start to fall apart. You do want to take this and plug these in for maximum stability. But all in all though, this swings onto, let me see. You're going to take these pegs here are going to plug into these screw holes here, and then this is going to clip around the side of his dick plate, and then this has got two pegs that plug into these two holes right here. So it's all a little process. You don't, thankfully, have to disassemble the whole figure to get it to connect up, but you do have to line things up just the right way. Maybe hook it on that first, and then wrench this around a little bit. Yeah, and then plug that in. Yeah. And there's an arm. Now I gotta figure out what exactly I'm gonna do with my camera, because this is about to turn huge. Alright, so you're gonna bring out your legs. And then we're going to bring out the shorts. And so, in order to get these pants to work, what you want to do is, these need to go down. They might. So you've got these grooves in here, and you got these tabs, these bosses here, and they are going to slide into there. And you gotta really shove it home like that. Now these panels here, they are spring-loaded. They will pull out, and so you're gonna pull them out and finagle them over these pegs here, and it's a real hassle. It's a real freaking chore, but they're really useful for making sure that everything is just like freaking rock solid. Like this figure is never disassembling on its own. In fact, sometimes even when you want to disassemble it, it takes some work. But you know what? All healthy relationships take work. Come on. Alright, that's one leg attached. We're going to attach on the other one now. And this is going to happen very similarly, in that you've got these bosses here, and then these tabs right here. They're just a lot smaller for this side. And we're just gonna plug that in. One thing I forgot to mention, this hook right here will hook into this hole here, so you got to kind of bring it in like that and then slide it in, and then it like rotates into place. So this one's, there you go, but you heard it click. And we're just going to do what we did with this. Slide that around, plug it in, and for the other side, slide that around, plug it in. And I'm not ready to stand them up quite yet, though I am making an absolute mess of my desk. That being said, my desk was kind of a mess already. Alright, now what we're going to do for this one, we went to, so the mating references for this are, these two big tabs are going to plug into these clips here, and then these holes, screw holes basically, are going to plug over these pegs there. So plug that like that, and then bring these in There we go. And then slide this a little bit more down. Because now, this is the trickiest one. Because these guys wiggle, and there's 4 of them. And they don't all wiggle in the same direction. And we need to get all 4 of these to plug into all 4 of those all at the same time. So you just kind of fish them all in and then apply pressure. And hope for the best. There we go. At this point, I think I am going to stand it up. My tripod only goes so far. It's alright. We're going to extend out the legs. I can make it go as tall as I need. I'm still not tall enough, am I? Alright. So now you've got 2 holes here and the pegs here. That's going to clip in right there. And then I'm just going to bring out these tires to get them out of my way. You want to take and fold these feet down, and then this whole thing is going to fold down these skirt armors on Long Haul's legs. I'm losing bits. I'm losing bits. So now you've got a big peg and a small peg, and then on this side you've got a big hole and a small hole. I feel like if I had remembered that bit, I could have prepared this a little bit better. Alrighty. Put these back where they're supposed to be. The head has got 4 pegs on it. There's 4 holes up here. You can't miss them. I'm not going to tilt this to show you. It just goes on simple as. The cubic connector here has got, you'll see it's got this groove. That groove only goes to 4 sides, or 3 sides. And then there's a corresponding tab all along 3 of those sides. So you got to make sure you get that lined up properly. And that just slides right in. And then you want to take and just clip this into place. And do the same for the other side. And only a couple things now. So you've got, for this side, you've got you've got a peg that faces down. That's going to go into this screw slot here. And then you've got this peg that's going to fold up from underneath. That's going to plug into a corresponding slot underneath there. So, tab this down. And that's going to plug in like that, and you can extend these out to make that bigger. And then last but certainly not least are these add-on things to kind of fill out the sides of him. And they just kind of grip over here. That is the front side, right? Yeah, that one clips on just fine. This one is fighting me, of course. What would a review be without something fighting me? Fucking peaceful as what? Why is it fighting me? Well, that doesn't seem right. I could have sworn it was the other side forward. But I could have been wrong all this time. They so this figure wasn't designed with those in mind. That's an aftermarket thing. But So there it is, the absolute beast. Just a huge figure. This figure is just massive. Just all kinds of massive. Here we can start to see how messy my desk is. But yeah, it's going to be a little bit difficult to get into it, but I really should, shouldn't I? The posability. So, I could summarize it up by saying that basically he's got all the joints that you need. He's got a universal hinge in his head. He's got a waist joint, an ab crunch. He's got skirt armors that get out of the way. His leg ratchets forward and back. It actually slides forward so that he could bring his leg way up. He can do like a kneeling, like a crouching Iron Man pose, the Iron Man landing. He can do that. It's bad for the knees, I know, but he can make it happen. There's cool moving gimmicks in the legs when you bend at the knee. The knee bends quite a bit, actually. You get tiltage on the legs, on the ankles, some rotation on this one because the waist joint is still functional here. The elbows also have a little bit of this separation, which is pretty gnarly. He comes with a gun, which has got like a huge, massive tab on the handle, and to plug into a slot on the fist. Which it does not want to seem to. There we go. Everything works when you're obnoxious enough with it. So he can hold his gun just fine. And yeah, I mean, it's posable, but it's big and heavy. He tends to lean a bit. I've found the best way to mitigate that is to specifically pose him in such a way that he's either a little bit you like make the legs so that one of them is in a different pose than the other, and it kind of increases his surface area just a little bit so the joints don't line up. Instead of lining up like this and then they're more likely to wobble, you want to put them like this so they actually brace against each other. It also helps, especially if you're holding him long term, to pose him so that he leans back and then just rest him against a wall. And that that tends to hold him pretty well. But yeah, this is by far my favorite Devastator. I love it so much. I'll show him next to my second favorite Devastator. Itty bitty little guy. But yeah, this figure deserves just all of the fullest recommendation that I can give. The going rate for him these days, oh, by the way, he's got this visor thing that, like, slides down, which replicates one of his looks. I forget if it's his toy look that's replicating or his cartoon look. There's also electronics that you can put in here. There's a button to turn them on. I don't have any in there because I'm not a strong believer in electronics, for toys at least. But yeah, it's gorgeous. It's huge. I love it. Full recommendation. I got this guy at like $100 per figure. And then it was like another $30 for the add-on set, which was just the lats here. And then the heel covers for long haul. Nowadays, you can get a box set of him for about $500. And I still recommend it, for sure. But anyhow, that's about all I've got for this guy. Everybody, thanks for watching. You guys are fantastic. Stay awesome and be good to each other. See ya.